Are you ready for the next great adventure? Imagine a journey that takes you not just across miles, but through time itself. Each twist and turn of the track leads us deeper into the past. Each step we take is a step back in time. The air is thick with history, and the past lingers like a gentle breeze. We're not just walking, we're traveling through the very fabric of time itself.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, another episode from Lads on the Trails. Today we've actually brought you down to Manchester and we're going to do a little bit of looking around here at some historical buildings and places of interest. So don't forget to like, comment, share us and subscribe to the channel, and we hope that you enjoy this video. So we brought you to the Old Wellington pub. Now this is, as you can see, a half timber and half brick building. It's part of the Shambles Square, which was created in 1999, and it's a Grade 2 listed building, and it's the oldest building of its kind in Manchester. So yeah, the Old Wellington pub, it was originally built in 1552, and then in 1554 it became a draper's shop, and then it was actually owned by the Byrom family. Now in 1692, John Byrom, the writer, was actually born here, and the actual third floor, which we see there, that was actually added in the 17th century. And then in 1830, it became a licensed public house known as the Vinters Arms, and later became Kenyon Vaults. By 1865, the ground floor was known as the Wellington Inn, which is obviously what we see today. The upper floors were used by makers of mathematical and optical instruments. So in 1897, the actual upper floors became a fishing tackle shop, and that was actually called the Old Fishing Tackle Shop. How original. Now in the 18th century, it was actually extended, and I think it's that bit there which has got the clock face on it. And basically it became the John Shaw Punch House. So basically he was licensed to sell strong alcoholic punch. And it was actually a meeting place for the high Tories and Jacobites. So the customers would normally meet around 6 o'clock, and it was actually known as called the sixpenny worth of punch. And by 8, they would actually have a fixed closing time. Now, John, he was a stickler for this, because he had been, if you remember right, fighting for the war with Queen Anne when she was in reign. And like I say, John was a stickler for this. So 8 o'clock would come, and he'd present himself down in the pub, obviously, and he would shout out, 8 o'clock, gentlemen, 8 o'clock, in a very loud, stern voice. Now, for those which didn't want to leave at 8 o'clock or would loiter about, what John actually did was order his maid, Molly, to actually empty her mop bucket. So you can imagine she'd throw the mop bucket over him. So yeah, he instructed Molly to throw the water from the mop bucket out onto them, which quite funny really. That's the kind of thing I'd actually do properly. Amazing, this building. Obviously that building there is actually the Corn Exchange. So he was master of the punch house, public house even if you really want to call it that, for 58 years until 1796, and he died at the age of 83. After his death, it was kept by Peter Fernhead, and the assistant was still Molly as well, and it remained under the same rules as what John had for 10 years, and then 10 years later it was actually sold to a William Goodall, proprietor of the Fleece Tavern at the opposite end of the Old Shambles. So the new landlord, what he did was demolition part of the building and converted the rest into the King's Head Tavern in 1807, which then later became the Sinclair's until oysters were actually on the menu, and then it became Sinclair's Oyster Bar, and it still remains as that today as well. Now in this area, many of the buildings were actually demolished in the Victorian era, and that was to make way for road improvements. And if you like, it was like for like a redevelopment purposes, really. The rest was destroyed in the Manchester Blitz. And so yeah, during the Blitz, well, after the Blitz, should I say? Basically, the Old Shambles was one of the only pre-19th century building areas, and the Wellington Inn was the only surviving Tudor-built building which survived from the Blitz. Yeah, we just come across this, which is Mitchell's house. It says founded 1689 and it was rebuilt in 1890. But it's not apartments. Yeah, these some more buildings here. Cannon Court up there. This probably would be where that other pub were, the Fleece, if I remember correctly. You've got the Crown and Anchor there. So, like I say, yeah, the Old Wellington is the last surviving Tudor-built building which has survived. Now, in 1971, the process started, if you like, to elevate the Old Shambles. So this area to elevate it like to a street level, and that was all to do with the redevelopment. Obviously, we're getting redeveloped. They needed to bring these to street level, so what they did was use hydraulic jacks underneath. I'll try and get some images over to show you how they did that. And basically, they was lifting it half an inch, if I remember correctly, by half an inch, using hydraulic jacks for a 3-month period. And basically, it was 1971 of that year in October where they actually raised it a total of 5 feet.